Let's see what we can make from these things and a mystery item.
Hit it! That's what I'm talking about. Wait!
Okay, now, from the beginning.
Welcome to another episode of Wolf Ridge Woodworking. So I've got some resin here and a piece of burl, and I'm going to keep, or try to keep, the last item a mystery until further in. With doing these videos, it's usually hard to surprise people with what you're making because you either got a thumbnail, it's in the description, but I'm going to do some things to try to keep the mystery for a little bit. Not sure how this project's going to turn out. This is kind of an experiment. Let's get started and see how this goes. Again, got to cut it over at the bandsaw to 2 1/4 square. So meet me over at the bandsaw. So now what we got to do is we've got to cut some HDPE to make a mold. I'm going to use some of the ones that I made from when I made the pen mold. But I'm actually going to size this the size of a wine stopper blank so that I can reuse this so I don't have further use. So that's what I've got. I've got a piece of HDPE here, and now we're going to get it cut. Now we've got the mold pieces cut and we need to screw it together. I'm going to clamp it temporarily so that I can drill it and then put these number 8 1-inch pan head screws in. And so let's get started with that. The mold is all put together now. What you saw me doing was drilling it with 2 different drill bits. And the reason is that the drill bit that's the correct size for the screws, when you put the screw in, as typical, it wants to grab a hold of this, so it pushes it away rather than biting into this and pulling this in. So I just took a little bit larger drill bit, about the same size as the screw, and just drilled it out, hollowed it out so that it's, kind of just floating in there, and then just use a countersink bit to get it underneath the surface a little bit. What are we going to put in the wood? I think it's time to do the reveal. So what we're going to use in the wood is this flower. This is an Arizona or a desert marigold. I don't think it's it's a desert marigold. And I'm going to, I've already got the hole drilled in there, and I'm going to hot glue it so that it's, stays in there, and it's going to be poured in, resin on top of it. Don't know how this is going to work. This is an experiment, so, hopefully it turns out well. But what I want to do is I want to, because there's a good amount of space above this. So what I want to do is, form it so that it comes up and kind of like as a cone almost. So again, it could be a paperweight or just an art piece, but don't know how this flower is going to work out. I've heard that moisture and resin, especially Luminite, don't mix. So we don't know. I don't know. We'll see. But hopefully it's going to turn out well. And so I think this is heated up enough. So I'm just going to put some hot glue down in the hole. And then quickly, before it hardens, put the flour in. And I don't know if it'll be translucent in here, but I may just try to put a little bit on this so it holds that flour in that position. going to let it solidify. So let me turn the camera off, get all of the things to mix the resin, and then I'll be back. We need 2.7 or 5.5 ounces of resin. I've calculated the volume of this. So I need half of that of part A and half of that of part B. So that's 2.75 ounces of each resin. So, whoops, zero our scale out. And this is part A. So we want 2.75. We're going to go with 2.89. Okay, zero that out. So 2.89. 2.72. Gotta be careful here. I don't know how close it's got to be, but 2.79. I think I'm going to call that. Okay. Still don't need this anymore. And like I said, we're going with clear. So we got 7 minutes of work time. So we're going to get to stirring. Got it, my caddy ready. So now I'm gonna try to pour it. I'm going to try to pour it so it doesn't go right on top of the flour. And just kind of goes down and around, and then hopefully the weight underneath the resin, or the resin underneath, will kind of support and make that float the petals. Okay, and that was just about dead on perfect. There's like only a drop of resin left in here, so I think that's going to be good. Okay, so now we're going to put it on our caddy. Let's get the scale out of the way. Let's get our pressure pot up here. Okay. So, and then let's drop this bad boy down in here. So turn the pressure pot around a little bit. Let's get the pressure up in this. It's going to leak a little bit, but I'll tighten it up off camera. Put the air in slowly. I'm going to go up to 50 psi. And I'll see you when I demold it. Well, things did not go quite as planned. What I had heard about aluminite, about how it doesn't react with moisture too much, happened. So the moisture in the flour reacted pretty badly with the aluminite. So if I can maybe get it in a little bit closer, you can see what I'm talking about. I'll put some stills at the end so you can see it. So this is not a success. However, it was an experiment. I had fun doing it. I got a mold out of it. Again, going to use this as bottle stoppers. And I am going to do this again with this flower. Or maybe, and another one of the desert marigolds. But what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to dry them out. From what I understand is you just hang the flowers upside down for a few weeks and they dry out. And then once they're dry, it should be able to take the acrylic or the resin. So that's what I'm going to do. So that just goes to show you that, you know, not every project is a success. But, you know, even though this one didn't succeed, it's okay. I learned a lot. But anyway, so I'm going to stop rambling on, and I'm going to call this the end of the project. I really appreciate you stopping by. If you've got any questions, please leave a comment. If there are other videos that you might be interested in seeing, you know, click here to see some of the other content that I've created. And if you're, you know, if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to click the link up here and subscribe and hit that bell so that you're notified when I upload a new project. Thank you for stopping by, and I wish you a blessed day.